Hey everyone, my name is Gal Cohen. I'm a full-time real estate investor and agent in the North Jersey market. What I like to do is every week or so run through the NJMLS, specifically looking at multifamily properties to see if there's any good deals, and then run them through a really quick cap rate analysis. I love to look at comps and determine if any of the properties that were newly listed are worth considering from it for a buy and hold investor. So let's get started. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have a two-family here listed for 680 in Haledon in Passaic. Interesting. Taxes are 14,000. It's a little high for Passaic, but it does look like it's pretty big. The lot size is about 5,000 square foot and 2 3 bedrooms. Now, the one that's actually rented out is rented for 2,500, which is, I think it's pretty okay. We'll have to double check. We'll have to take a look at the comps in the market to see how competitive that is for a 3 bedroom. Oh, so it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Because here you can see there's 4 full baths altogether. Oh, and wow, and the lease expires not this year, not next year, but the following year. They had a 2-year lease. I don't recommend 2-year leases for residential properties. It's very important to make sure that everybody's happy. The landlord is happy and the tenants are getting what they want. I find that the 1-year lease is really the sweet spot when it comes to residential leases. So it's interesting to see a 2-year. They're really not very typical. Let's see if there's any photos of the property. Okay. We can already tell that gas is separate. Okay, so it does look renovated recently, at least this bathroom. Oh, okay. Not too bad. I wish there were more photos. Let's see really quickly if I can find more. Is this the same property? Definitely not. Interesting. I wonder why this came up. Oh, maybe it is. No, this is Patterson's. This is a completely different property. Okay. This is wrong also. So let's do this. Let's just find it again, because I'm not sure how it disappeared. Okay, here we go. Get history. And just to see if there's more pictures of this property. Okay, cool. Oh, not too bad. Nice molding. Floors look like they're in good condition. Pretty modern. It looks like there's stone countertops, which is nice. I wish they did a little backsplash, but that's okay. Stainless steel appliances. Nice. Okay, not too bad. And was this when it was leased? Okay, so they listed it at 2,500, but then they leased it at 2,100 in 2024. But now we have so I wonder if that was a 3-year lease with an escalation clause. Interesting. Okay. All right, so let's look at some comps for Hilden and Passaic. Let's see from a rental perspective what the rents should be. I guess we should start first. Put in that there's 2 units at 680. One of them is going to be vacant, so at least we can do 2,500 for the one that has a long-term lease. But for the other one, let's see what a market rent would be. We could just do 2,500 times 2, but because it's a longer lease and maybe there's already a built-in escalation clause, let's take a look at what rentals go for in this town. Okay, so there's only 5 that are either active or under review, and then 18 within the last 180 days. Okay, we gotta do 3, 2. Four matches. Not ideal. Okay, and 2 of them are houses. All right, but the cheapest one is a 2-family property. Let's look at the condition. Looks pretty similar. We're looking at a picture that's a screenshot that somebody took. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty close. House, and then a condo or a townhouse. Yeah, not a really good comp. I think we have to open it up to, let's do 365 in the last year. Only 4. Interesting. Okay, which this is telling me that it's not that strong of a rental market. If we bump this down to 1, what does that do? Okay, so you have 2,500, 3-1, and originally they listed it for 2,650, and then they dropped it to 2,500. So you know what? I'm actually comfortable with the 2,500. So let's do 5,000. All right. Can we do any other kind of? I don't see a garage. Let's see. Separate electric, separate gas, separate heat. No garage and okay. So no additional other income. Property taxes we said was 14,129. Okay, and then we'll do 2,000 for this one as well. Oops. Okay, so it looks like with pretty conservative assumptions, we're right under a 6 cap. Doesn't look like that good of a deal. It's not terrible. I just think that the rental market. Well, what really concerns me is the lack of inventory in Hilden for these type of units, and then that unfortunately has a downward pressure on the price. It'd be one thing if we saw everything was leased, but it did look like there were a good amount of vacancies in the area, and the prices really aren't that good. It does. I don't think it justifies a $680,000 cost for a property. So not too bad. Definitely get familiar with an area. Drive around, get a feel. Go to a couple of restaurants there. Go to a cafe. Spend some time in the area before you make a big decision. Even if it's just an investment property, you're probably going to be spending a lot of time there. And also, in addition to the cash flow, appreciation is super important. And usually that's going to, a good indicator would be if you want to spend time there. Then you can assume other people would. And if there are new businesses, there are cool restaurants, that kind of thing, then likely appreciation will also follow. Okay, so let's get to the next one. Okay, we have 41 Heckle Street in Belleville in the county of Essex. They're asking $620. I pulled this one out specifically because it's $620 for a 3-family in Belleville. I believe Belleville has a pretty decent rental market, but let's see what we're working with here. Okay, not bad. Hardwood floors. This I don't like. I mean, I understand the tenants did it, but just add a door. Even a sliding door. Or a barn style door might be perfect here. Oh, well, I guess except for the outlet and this. So one would have to move. Not too bad, not too bad. Oh, it looks like the backsplash is just these stickers. I don't know, it's not my favorite. Stainless steel appliances, which is good. Tiles are older. Yeah, here they did a refresh probably a couple years ago. It looks like they're older cabinets, but they painted them. I would just change the hardware. And it looks like there might be either stone or Formica. I'm not sure about the counters. Oh, the tile work in the bathroom is actually pretty nice. The drop ceiling is not my favorite, but for a rental, it's okay. It just lowers the price you can ask. Okay. One of the things that I like to make sure to put in my leases is requiring tenants to put actual blinds up. If it's a funky window, if it's like a custom sized window, I think the landlord should be responsible for getting blinds. Just because it might have a significant expense on the tenants, but I just don't like seeing this. Yeah, it's something that I would recommend considering putting on your leases, or having at least a discussion with tenants. I just feel like it brings down the entire the value of the property as well as the neighborhood. It's not effective and it just doesn't look good. These you can get blinds for $15 at Walmart. Yeah. Again, I can understand if there's weird custom windows with different sizes, but interesting. The bathrooms actually look pretty good. The tile work in the bathroom is pretty good. Is this a garage or a basement? Okay. Wow, there's a lot of tools here. Oh, there's a garage here. Interesting. Okay. Living room, family room, dining area, kitchen, hall, small bath. Okay, very interesting. So it's a 3-family property with a garage, but it seems to be zoned residential. This is interesting. Separate electric, separate gas, separate heat. Awesome. They didn't show us the picture of the furnaces, so I would want to take a look and see what the condition is. Okay, and they don't have any information about it. 4 electric meters, 3 gas meters, 1 water meter. Gross income, they're stating 65,573. I wonder if that is going to include the little garage in the back. But let's run the numbers with what they've given us here. Okay, there's 1 vacancy, and 1 bedroom. They're saying $1,650. What's interesting is they have one rented at $1,750, but they're saying the other 1 bedroom will only get $1,650. Okay, that's interesting. But this price is attractive. So let's see. There's 3 units. 620. Let's see if these numbers add up to what they were saying. 1614. 1750 and 1650. Let's just see. No, it doesn't. It doesn't add up at all. Well, that's because this is wrong. Let's see. To see if they are making any money. 60,000. They said 65. So they're getting $5,000 a year for the garage. That seems pretty low to me. But let's just leave it for now. Other income. It looks like there's a garage with an office. I guess what? They're getting like $500. Why does this keep happening? Okay. Let's look at 41 Heckle again. Interesting. They tried to sell it in 2024 for 525. Took it off the market, put it back on the market at 620. Interesting. I mean, they couldn't get a buyer then for that price, but now they upped the price. Okay, let's just see what it is from a cap rate perspective. I guess for right now, let's keep the garage off. Although, let's keep the garage off, and then we'll add in $1,000 or something per month, maybe less. 13,321 for taxes. Utilities we can put to 2,500 because of the 3-family. So not terrible. It's a 6 cap, and that's with the rents that they were giving us, and 2 tenants in place, and not counting the garage. If let's say you can get, let's start low, $500 per month for the. Oh, that's not right. Yeah, $500. Per month for the garage, then it bumps it up to about a 7 cap. That's not terrible. Really not that bad. Low taxes. This would really work for somebody who has the need for the garage, because from a zoning perspective, technically, you're not supposed to be, I mean, you can't run a business as a residential property. You can't run a business there. However, as the owner, you do have some flexibility, and this is it's really town to town dependent. You do have some flexibility in terms of what you can utilize the space for. It looks to be a garage, so working on your own cars, family's cars, that kind of thing. Maybe that's okay, or storage, like a unofficial warehouse kind of thing. As long as you're mindful with your neighbors, and really depending on what other folks are doing in the area, should be okay. One thing to consider though, with garage and anything related to do with cars, there could be a risk of oil contamination, depending on how the fluids were removed from the cars and where they were stored and how they were taken away. And also tires. Tires are something that, if left for a long time, can actually harbor like mosquitoes. So this one would require like a good amount of due diligence for understanding Not as much as the residential side, but just this like extra commercial side or quasi commercial side. I would almost consider looking into accessory dwelling unit laws in Belleville to see if there's something you can do here in terms of not having a workshop, um, but maybe another residential unit. It's already zoned for a 3-family. A 4-family is still considered residential. So maybe with an accessory dwelling unit or an ADU, you can really unlock additional money here. And then one final word, having a garage, even if it's not like, if nobody's running a business, I think this would have negative pressure on the rent you can actually ask for the property, just because try to put yourself in a tenant's shoes. Would you want to live, right next to a garage, right? A place where somebody's working on cars, making all kinds of noises. Maybe there's smells. Maybe there's people coming in and out. It probably doesn't have a good. It doesn't have a positive. Probably not neutral as well. So something to consider. So the numbers actually do work out, even if you're only getting $500 for this garage, which I think, depending on the size, it looks pretty big. It looks like there's 2 entrances, maybe an office and like a spot for to pull in the car. Maybe there's even 2, but so $500 could be a little light. But then it's as long as the town is okay with it, and then it'll have a negative pressure on the rents. So this one looks like it pencils out to be a pretty good deal. However, a lot more diligence is required in order to see if this property is right for you. Okay, let's get to the next one. Okay, cool. We're still in Belleville. Awesome. Okay. So pulled this one out because of that price. Asking $450 for a 2-family in Belleville. It's not too bad. Low taxes, $9,800. Lot looks like pretty big. Almost 5,000 square feet. Okay, 40 by 121. Interesting. So it's a little it's narrow but deep, I guess. I wonder where these pictures taken. Wow. Okay. So there's 2 1-bedrooms. One of them is month to month, getting $850. And then heating is oil. Okay. This kind of makes more sense. Calling in all investors. Legal 2-family, 1-bedroom each, needs total renovation, strictly as is. 3-car garage, long driveway, great location. Cash or 203K only. Underground tank and driveway not being used. Boiler is not working. Wow. Okay. Underground tank in driveway, which means that they're only looking for cash. Certification is buyer's responsibility. Use an occupancy for 2 months. Gratis for seller to find a rental. Okay. I can run the numbers here, but I would strongly recommend my investors to understand the risks and costs related to having an underground oil tank and then also a heating system that isn't currently working. I don't think it makes sense to run numbers for this just because it's such a unique situation. If you have the 450, probably less. They probably accept less, to be honest. But if you have the 450 cash sitting around, it's probably better to buy multiple properties with utilizing financing than to sink it all into this property. Just even if you pick it up for 400, let's say, and then it'll cost you $50,000 to both remove the oil tank and change the heating system or upgrade the heating system. You're then what you have is two 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartments in Belleville. Best case scenario. I don't think that's too good. Yeah, I mean, let's quickly take a look at what a 1-bedroom, 1-bath fully rented, or what the market is for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Belleville. It's definitely going to be more than 850, but how much more? Okay, the cheapest one was for $1,450. And let's take a look at this in terms of comps. Okay, so it's like a condo, bright, airy, nicely renovated, or renovated within the last 10 years. Maybe not that bathroom. Okay, that's the cheapest one. Wow, this one was 127 days on the market before it found a tenant. Doesn't look too bad. And then the top of the market. All right, probably new construction. Yeah, 2,500. It's really not that much. No, these are nice. I like the two-tone of the kitchen. It's very modern. Although I do wonder about how that's going to age over time. Okay, this is 2,100. Also brand new. So it's hard to use this as a true comp. Definitely it's the top of the market for this area for 1-bedroom apartments. However, there's going to be certain amenities that this type of complex will offer tenants that you just can't offer them in a standard 2 or 3 or 4 family property. So there would have to be a discount on top of that. And we're talking about $2,150. Yeah, so it's definitely above $850 that they're currently getting, but let's see this guy. Okay, this is probably a little closer. I mean, I guess if we're going kind of from the top to the bottom, I'd probably, depending on the size of the property, and then you can include the garages, maybe you can get up to 1,800 if you do a really nice renovation. But it seems a little risky. Yeah, so maybe 1,600 and then $100 for each garage, kind of gets you around to the almost 18, maybe 1,750 each unit. Yeah, it puts you around here, right around the middle, maybe a little bit lower than the median. That was a townhouse. Yeah, you're just competing with properties that are in really good condition. Yeah, this has been fully renovated, nice bathroom, and although they're all 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartments, they look pretty spacious, and I'm worried about this one specifically. Okay, so I mean we've kind of done most of the research, so might as well put the numbers in, plug in the numbers, asking 450. Okay, so let's say 1,750 times 2. Other income, so they have 3 garages. property taxes, we said 9,812, was it? 9,852. One digit off. And then utilities. Okay, so I guess because you're going to change up the heating situation, you can definitely do separate heat. They don't mention anything about electric, if electric's all connected. And you know what? I'm worried that there's going to be Federal Pacific electric panels here, which that's a company that went bankrupt. They were based out in Newark, New Jersey. They went bankrupt, I want to say, in like the 70s, because they had the electric panels kept catching fire, and they had to keep paying out. Yeah, I'm worried about it. Long driveway, which is nice, but it's a narrow house. Yeah. Okay, so if you can get 1750, and then let's say you can't. Let's say you can't get anything for the garages, or you have to build it into the rent. At that point, it's a 6 cap. If you can get 300 for the garages, it jumps to a 7 cap. It's not bad. The biggest thing here would be the fact that you have to buy it in cash. Look, a 7 cap is good. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that you can't get financing, and you have to bring a good chunk of change just to close. Granted, what a lot of savvy investors do is they buy, the ones that have been doing it for a while, and they're sitting on a good pile of cash. You can close with cash and then refinance after. So basically, do a quick renovation, get it up to market rents, rent it out as soon as possible to ease, to have some cash flow, have the property start producing some income, and then refinance and pull your cash out, keep 25% in the property, and then you can usually command a better sales price if you are able to bring cash. This just seems like a pretty big project. If the units were bigger, I'd be a lot more excited about the property. Just the fact that there's only 2 1-bedrooms. You know what? I would like to see the layout of the property to get an understanding of whether or not you can, move some things around, move a wall or two, and maybe create another bedroom. Yeah, I'd want to see how big the units are, the condition of the basement, the electric meters, all those kind of things. Really, really interesting. Yeah, if you want to take a look at this property, you want to go see it in person, let me know. We can schedule a time to go see it. Want to run kind of a deeper analysis on this property, on this town, or anything else, let me know. You can find me shoot a message on the YouTube comments, or find me on Instagram or LinkedIn. It's where I like to spend a lot of my time virtually. All right, let's get to the next one. Okay, 416 Bluff. Nice. Ooh, Fort Lee. Yeah, Fort Lee is an awesome town. It's in Bergen County. Yeah, very, very close to Manhattan. It's where the George Washington Bridge is. Why do you keep doing that? Okay. So asking price is pretty high, $950, but unfortunately that's typical for Fort Lee. Taxes are around what I expect, $14,429. I pulled this one out specifically because it's big. It's a big property. Not the lot size, but the bedroom count. So there's 5 full baths, 1 half bath, and then 7 total bedrooms. That's broken up by 3 beds and a 4 bed. The 3 bed is currently getting $2,650 and has bedroom, bathroom, 2 beds, 2 bathrooms. Interesting. Oh, a half bath. Okay, so they do have a half bath. Oh, okay, the primary bath and a regular bath. Okay, cool. So $2,650. I think that's actually low for the property. But let's see the current condition. Not too bad. I would definitely eliminate this wall between the dining room and the living room. Living room's big. And then yeah, the rents that they're getting for this property kind of makes more sense now. It definitely needs a update. Oh, there's a hallway. Okay. Bedroom 1. That's awesome. The spiral staircase. Oh wait, I did see something. I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but there definitely is. There was some water coming into this apartment. So it looks like some water damage up here. So this loft area, I guess it's just a closet. Does this room not have a closet? It doesn't have a closet. So they made a huge spiral staircase, which could have been the space of a closet. You could have just have a closet here instead of the spiral staircase. It does look cool. And then you have all this space for it's a walk-up closet. They have walk-in closets, but this one is a walk-up closet. That's awesome. Okay, bathroom's in decent condition. I personally like the tiles. They are older, but it seems like they're kind of going with a rustic theme with the hardware. It's not too bad. Maybe just get a new bath. Okay, second bedroom's a little small. Oh, is this another loft situation? Bathroom 2, bedroom number 3. Okay, we're up to the second floor dining room, living room, kitchen. Okay, it's a bit newer than the other one, but not terrible. Okay, so it looks like they don't have a divider between the living room and the dining room, but I don't know if there's a divider between the kitchen and the, okay, primary bath, second, nice bedroom. Oh, here we go. There's some more water damage. Yeah, the roof might need to be replaced, or maybe it was repaired already, but yeah, definitely needs to be investigated further. Bedroom 3. Okay. Oh, cool. So they have a little summer kitchen in the basement. Sweet. With a full bathroom. Nice. And laundry, I guess, for the first floor. Wow, so the first floor is getting a basement as well for $26.50. That's definitely below market. Interesting. And living room, dining room. Bedroom. I think that with some creativity, you can combine the kitchen with the dining room and then potentially make another bedroom somewhere. But this is interesting. It's definitely a funky layout, but it is a good amount of space and a 2-car driveway. Huh. So the roof looks like pretty good condition. So what could have happened is there was some water coming in, and then they updated the roof, but then they never fixed the inside, the sheetrock and the paint. That would be my guess. Definitely worth getting a inspector up there. Or what they do is they bring a drone up to see the condition. Separate electric, separate gas, separate heat, separate water. Wonderful. Okay. Anything else? No. not too bad, not too bad. Let me share this link with somebody first quickly before I do forget. I have a friend who's looking for a multifamily property, and he does really like Fort Lee, but I wonder what he would think of this one. It just is a little expensive, but the size of the units could justify that cost. And it doesn't look like it needs a crazy amount of work. Plus, all the utilities are already split. If it has a new roof, yeah, it's just kind of a refresh on the bathrooms, kitchens, maybe some moving of a wall or two to create another bedroom, and then you have 2 4-bedrooms. That could be pretty sweet. Okay, but let's look at the Fort Lee rental market. Like I said, I think it's pretty. I think the Fort Lee rental market is very strong. Let's see. So we have 1 3-bedroom, 1 4-bedroom. So minimum 3, maximum 4, and then yeah, that basement. The basement is definitely underutilized. You should get more than $2,650 for that much space in this town. So BA. Okay, so it's 2 and 1. Minimum full baths would be 2. Okay, we'll keep it that way. And wow, look at how many, there's 27 matches. We have to do 2-family, apartments are okay, and then multifamily. Not condo, not co-op, not shared. Still 11 active and attorney review, and then leased. That 35 matches. Fort Lee has a strong rental market. Cheapest one was $2,900, and then most expensive one was $7,000. Let's see what $7,000 gets you in Fort Lee. Okay, technically it's a 2-family, but it's almost like a single-family home. Here we get the pictures, and this is the other side probably. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, newer construction. Huge kitchen. Beautiful dual sinks, nice shower. Okay. Yeah, so the $2,650 is definitely below market for a 3-bed. Let's see. Yeah, that was over 3. Let's see, 3.5. 3.5. Yeah, with a newer kitchen. Updated. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. Yeah, probably just as big, if not a little bit smaller. Okay, so 2 units, asking $950. Oh, do they have a lease, or is this month to month? It expires, okay, at the end of the month. Awesome. Okay, so let's say 3,500 and 4,000. Oh, it's false. That's right, it is false. Okay, I think yeah, 4,000 for a 3-1. Yeah, assuming you're going to do some renovations. Yeah. I think getting to the 4,000 and 3,500 is very, very doable. And then there's 2 garages, Fort Lee parking, depending on the street really, but parking could be like a luxury. In that case, I'd be comfortable with like saying $300, $150 per garage space. Okay, property taxes, we said 14,000. 429. And they're claiming all of the utilities are separate. Separate electric, separate gas, separate heat, separate water. Okay, cool. So, yeah, so without going too crazy with the rental costs, this looks like about a 8 cap, 7.9. Yeah, this is a good deal. Fort Lee is super hot. Very, very strong rental market. You're very close to Manhattan. I like this property. I already sent it to one client. Yeah, there's a lot of space, and I think potentially you can make it. You can turn it into 2 4-bedrooms, and then you don't have to give the basement. You can kind of use that for yourself. Yeah, I would bring the laundry up to the first floor, and then make the basement's basically a bonus apartment. Let's see if they have the layout for the basement. 124. Yeah, basement floor plan. Yeah, there's a bedroom in there, large closet, 2 large closets, a little kitchen, a bathroom, 2 bedrooms really. Wow. Yeah, and that's not even counting the bedrooms in the basement. I mean, potentially, if you can utilize that space, that'll fall down to the bottom line. Yeah, if let's say you can find a way to have money come from the basement, even $500 a month, which is low if there's 2 bedrooms. Yeah, then it rockets it up to 8.5 from a cap rate perspective. $6,000 or 6.7 grand net every month. That's pretty sick. And yeah, you don't have to do this cash. You can quite easily do 20% down on the property. Yeah, this is something definitely to look at. I like this property. This is the first time it's been on the market. Yeah. First time it's been listed. Cool. Yeah, 0 days on the market. If you want to go see this property, reach out to me. You find my phone number pretty easily online. But this is a good one. I'd recommend moving fast. It's not going to last long. Looks like a solid investment property. Cool. All right. Let's head to the next one. Okay. So this is a 3-family in Harrison, New Jersey, which is in Hudson County. They're asking $850 for it. Kingsland. Okay, so there's 3 units. They are asking $850. And let's see what they're. So they have no rents listed. I wonder if it's fully vacant, or if it's just below market. They don't want to advertise that price. Let's see. That's not it. NJMLS has been super glitchy today. Kingsland. Okay, so 1 garage spot and a driveway. Not bad. wonder what this neighbor's. Oh, okay, this is just the backyard. Just not the most visually appealing fence situation, but it's probably owned by the other property. Okay, this looks clean. Nice hardwood floors. Okay, hardwood floors look like they have some damage. Nothing crazy, but definitely livable. Older kitchen. Yeah, this looks tight. This looks tight, and it's definitely not vacant. There's people living here. Smaller apartments. Okay, this is a second unit. And then third unit. Okay, nice. So 3 hot water heaters. 3 electric panels. I wonder if we can zoom in here. No. Okay. What about the furnaces? Where are the furnaces at? I'm going to say anything about the furnaces. Ooh, taxes are pretty low for a 3-family in Hudson County. Only 9,100. It's not bad. Utilities, they just say separate gas. We saw that there's also separate electric, so it's interesting that they didn't list it. Investor alert, don't miss this rare opportunity to own a 3-family home in a prime location. Just steps from major transportation options. Each unit offers solid rental potential, making this smart addition to portfolio. Whether you're looking to generate passive income or expand your investments, this property is a steal you won't want to pass up. It could be, but you don't even tell us what the current rents are. So I guess we'll have to do some guesstimating. Okay, so 850, 3 units, separate electric, separate gas, not separate heat, and not separate water. So we'll do 2,500 for utilities. Property taxes, we said 9,152, and then let's see what we're working with here. I think in Harrison, rentals are pretty good. Harrison, how many bathrooms? They each have 1 bathroom? Yeah, there's 3 total bathrooms. And there's only 1 garage and 1 driveway. Okay. Yeah, so pretty healthy rental market. Now it does help that we're looking for smaller units. But let's see. We only have the active. I want some leased also, please. 41, excellent. And a 40 is always good to see. The cheapest one's 1,500. Let's see the condition. Can't see the condition because they don't have any pictures. Let's just do 2-family, an apartment, and multifamily. Yeah, 40. Great. Okay, this was 13 days in the market, same. Is that there's an electrical panel right above the bed? That doesn't seem safe. Okay, 1,600, and that was leased. Interesting. 1,800. Okay, looks a little bit better. The layout for the properties, or for this property at least, is better than the one that we're looking at. 2,000. Yeah, this one looks newer. Oh, well, okay. So I think after a good renovation, we could probably say 1,750 for the 2 bedrooms, and then 1900 for the 3. Depending on how renovation comes out, and yeah, it could be higher. So for other income, for laundry and parking, for parking, definitely it can only really be rented to one unit, but then they have to have both the garage and the driveway. So I think I do 200 here, maybe 250. Okay, 3 units, utilities. This isn't a good one. The cap rate is below 6%. The rents in town don't really justify such a high selling price. 850 doesn't really make sense. Let's see if we drop it down to 800. 800 still like a 6.27. It's not that good. Okay, so in Harrison, something for 850. Even with bigger units, low taxes, this doesn't look like the best investment property. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. Okay, we have a 2-family in Ridgefield Park. This one caught my eye because of the list price. $650 is an excellent price, I think, for Ridgefield Park. And then also there are 2 larger units, 2 3-bedrooms, fully vacant, and 6 total bedrooms, 3 full baths. Let's see. I wonder if I can find any pictures of the inside of the property. Perfect. Let's see what we got. When was this? Because it looks like it was taken on a potato. These are excellent pictures. '22, one picture. Still one picture. And one picture. Okay. It's always interesting when there's very, very little information about the property. Okay, fully vacant. Potentially you have to do a full renovation here. Let's see what they're saying. Separate electric, separate gas, separate heat, separate water. Maybe. Oh, so there is currently a tenant. So there's a tenant that's going to vacate May 31st. Okay. So at the very least, so why does it say that it's vacant? It's not vacant. And what rents are they getting? Well, I mean, I do feel better that there's a tenant in place. At the very least, we know that like electrical and plumbing is working. Likely no active leaks, that kind of thing. But they're really not giving us a lot of information here. Let's see if there's a seller's disclosure we can review. Okay, so 2-year-old roof, which is awesome. They don't know if there's any sump pumps. That's a little concerning. How do you not know? No termites, good. No. Oh, they have a central air. They have central air on the property. Okay. And then baseboard 3 years and 5 years. Natural gas. 2 units, 1 per apartment. Awesome. So there's 2 heating systems. Circuit breakers, fine. Smoke detectors. They still didn't say anything about the tenants. I just want to know. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see what the market is. I do feel better knowing now that heat is definitely separate, and then that there's an central air, and then that there's also a new roof. So it definitely seems like the property is in better condition than I was anticipating. I mean, especially with only one picture. Now, granted, more pictures could be coming, but yeah, it's the first introduction of the market to the property. Photos are what people go on. It helps you build an understanding of the property. But let's see what rents are for 2 3-bedrooms in Ridgefield Park. Because the asking price is pretty attractive. Okay, property taxes weren't that high, right? 14,000. Oh, they are pretty high. Okay, and then utilities. So water's probably going to be connected. We can do 2,000. Maybe a little less, but okay. Okay, we're in Ridgefield Park, and we've got 2 3-bedrooms. And then 2 2. Where's there? Now there's 3 full baths, so one of them has one. Leased and only 2-family, an apartment, and a multifamily. Okay, 12 active and leased, not too bad. Wow, these prices are higher than I was expecting. Okay. Looks pretty nice. So 2,700. This one was leased after 100 days. It did take some time. You get the basement and the first floor. And yeah, fully renovated. Very nice. And then top of the market. Yeah, it's usually the side by side where you have like a townhouse style. You can usually get a lot for it. Yeah, 3,300. Wow, they got a lot for this property. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if we can really count on over 3,000. Somewhere probably around here. Let's say 2,750 for each unit, and then one of them has another bedroom. Another bathroom. But still, very high. Yeah, 5,500. That's not bad. Other income. Do they have any garage or something? 2-car detached garage. All right, cool. Let's say $200. Maybe 300. 150 each. Yeah, it's pretty solid. 7.62. With units that are, pretty low in terms of market cost. What's really helping is the fact that they're bigger. They're 3 bedrooms, and it's a nice town. Let's see you can see the street view. Let me see if there's any flood issues. Do we anticipate flood issues? We do not. No flood issue. Awesome. Where are you? Okay. This looks like a pretty good deal. If you want to check this property out in person, reach out to me, let me know. Schedule a private showing. This looks like a pretty good one. So Ridgefield Park and the Fort Lee property that we looked at look to be pretty solid from investment perspectives. Yeah, I wish I had more information about the property, but what I do know is making me want to find out more. So yeah, pretty solid. Another good option. Cool. All right, let's get to the next one. Okay. So we have 8 Lake Street, 8 Lake Ave. Let's say Lake Ave. It can be. All we have to do is rename it. Oh no. Here we are. It's just a duplicate. Okay. Clifton, 2-family. I have a friend who's renting out a property in Clifton. So I pulled this one just to see what the market looks like. Okay, $625 for a 2-family in Clifton. If I'm not mistaken, Clifton has a pretty solid rental market. But let's find out. I haven't looked at rents in the area in a while. Ooh, taxes are nice and low, $8,081. That's fantastic. $8,081. That's wonderful. And let's look at the property. Let's see what we're working with here. Gotta do another refresh. The way that they took this picture makes it seem like this belongs to them, but I guess they just want to show that this is the oh, maybe it's a double lot. Maybe they have this lot on the side. Maybe it's like a side yard. Interesting. Ooh, it's deep too. Cool. Okay, older hallway. Okay, yeah, this property needs a good amount of work. Definitely not turnkey, but it looks clean. Yeah, it looks like every room. I do love the old school tubs like this. They're beautiful. Yeah, but you'd have to do some plumbing to refresh it. Okay, units are big. What was that? It might just be the carpet. I don't know if it's specifically water damage, because it doesn't look like there is. Unfinished attic. I guess partially. No, I would call it unfinished. Looks like a sauna room. And the basement looks super dry, which is good. Laundry. I like this property. I like that it's a double lot. Let's see if they actually call it out. Spacious multifamily property with endless potential. Wants the opportunity. Investor. Both units feature 2-bedroom, 1-bath, eating kitchen, comfortable living area. Oh, okay. It's an oversized lot. It's not specifically future expansion, landscaping, or other creative projects. Large backyard. Oh, so I don't think it's a big enough lot for to divide up. I don't think so. I'd have to double check. Which is a shame, because that could be a lot of potential. That could be a big potential value add down the line. Even if you're not ready for it now, if you have a double lot, you can develop it down the line, or at least subdivide it. I think they'd want a 50 by 100 at the very least. You may be able to be grandfathered into something smaller if it already is in place, but I'm not sure if for new construction they'll allow you to subdivide this type of lot. Do some research, do some homework. It could be very, very worthwhile, the investment, but yeah. Okay, separate electric, separate gas, separate heat, good. Okay, but yeah, this property, every room needs love. renovating it would be a pretty big project, but let's see if after renovation that could really make sense. Okay, they each have 2-2 with 1-1. Wow. So there's okay, good, cool. Yeah, there's 50 active and leased within the last 180 days, an apartment and a multifamily. Okay, drop, yeah, 43. Cheapest one was 1900, which is cute. The pictures were taken by the tallest person in the world. It looks like they're flying in the corner somewhere. 9 days on the market. Older. Yeah, so with a full renovation, I would target kind of the 25. Let's see what 25 gets you. Maybe even higher, because these aren't fully renovated apartments. They're just probably bigger. 28. What are you looking at? 26 could be a good comp. Yeah, okay. I feel comfortable with like around 2,600 for each unit post renovation. No garages. Just that extra space, which you really can't do much with. Within utilities, we'll say 2,000. Yeah, if you can get 2,600 for each unit after renovation, it's over an 8 cap. What it will come to ultimately will be how extensive the renovation will be, how expensive that's going to be. I'm not a contractor. I partner with contractors and handymen to help turn units. So estimate somewhere between, I guess, $20,000 to $50,000 per unit, depending on the fit and finishes. It's a pretty big range, but we have, I would recommend going to see this property with a trusted real estate agent like myself, as well as a contractor, to maybe get an understanding of, how expensive and extensive the renovation will be, how quickly you can get the unit up to listed for rent, and what that would really cause, what that would really cost. But if you can get just 2,600 for each unit, you're looking at almost an 8 cap, and that's without even doing anything fancy with the the potential double lot. If you can actually get it into a double lot, then this would be a screaming deal. I would also look into whether or not, so maybe you can't zone it for a double lot, but potentially if Clifton opens up the ability to allowing folks to use accessory dwelling units or ADUs, you'd have more than enough space for another small unit, which maybe you can't rent out for another 2,600, but even another 1,500 would drop right down to the bottom line after putting that together. So this looks like a winner too. We had a couple of really good deals today, at least at asking price. If you want to take a look at them, if you want to do a deep dive, reach out to me. I'm always available to chat. Schedule some time to meet, to grab a coffee and talk real estate. I love it. Again, my name is Gal Cohen. I'm a full-time real estate investor and agent. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks, and I'll see